Jim, I'm delighted that you're with us. You've been on the show before, and you're a bit of a legend, and we're going to talk more about that in a moment. But now, not only are you a legend, but you've got a remarkable daughter who's just become U.S. Senator. What was it like out there for the inauguration and the occasion when she was sworn in?
Well, it was merely marvelous, of course. What is this legend? You make me feel like a bronze plaque.
We're working on that in a moment. You'll know more about it, so hold fast as best you can. But first, before we get to legendary matters, you provided for me a wonderful little script. There was a question and answer session that you had with a friend.
Lee Pomeroy.
Lee Pomeroy. It was rather lengthy, but we cut one little snippet which talks about Amy's early life, and you wrote it up, and I think it's remarkable. I'm going to start off by reading just the lead in, and then you go from there, okay?
All right.
Okay, here we go. You suddenly find yourself as the father of a U.S. Senator. Did you ever, in a million years, think this might happen when you were raising your family?
Well, I wrote something like this, and the possibility that Amy would be a senator someday was not a vision that nourished my life or interfered with my sleep. But from the earliest years, you could guess that hers was going to be a life of involvement. As a grade schooler, she was stimulated by all of those widening horizons, opening up in her life and at home by the news on television and in our living room, and thank God by the newspaper in which I wrote. As a 7-year-old, she produced Christmas plays in our living room. She wrote the script, coached the cast. The cast consisted of her 4-year-old sister, her mother, and herself when she could break away from the director's chair. And she should have coached the audience too. That was my role. I was assigned as the audience, but she probably should have coached him because I received bad notices when it was over because I hadn't applauded loudly or enthusiastically enough.
This already at the age of 7.
Oh yeah, she was orchestrating things.
Let's talk a little bit about this legend bit now I've been discussing. You know, at age 78, you didn't go quietly into the sunset. You continue writing. You've got this script or this column going on web, which we'll talk a little bit later. You have your adventure club, and you continue to do the mountain climbing. So therefore, that's why we're going to do something here. I'm going to formally proclaim you the following. So it is high time for Strictly seniors to honor meritorious Minnesota citizens, both well-known or slightly less so, and we will call it Senior Legend. Jim, you're the first selected because we now realize that you have become a poster child for healthy and happy aging. Now, I know I should
get an honorary coach or something for that.
I know this is an emotional moment for you.
It is.
But in turn, I'm going to ask this favor. You give us a formula for how you are defying age. Can you do that?
I'm not sure I'm defying it. I am dealing with it, and happily, and or living it. And you know, you ask why. I don't know that I have prescriptions. All I can say is that in my own life, whether I decided to do this consciously or not, I've had a lot of diversity in life. The outdoors, books, writing. I love music. Play the piano badly, but I was trying to play something from Rachmaninoff this morning, and my wife decided that she had to probably leave the house for 5 minutes to do some shopping, she said. But I know the reason for it. But I love it. You know, some people say, well, I can do this at this age, and a lot of people didn't believe that. Well, I don't look at it that way. It isn't to pound my chest and say, hey, at the age of 75, I can lead a trek in the Himalayas. No, it was something...
How many times have you done the Himalayas?
16.
16 times.
But it isn't to prove that I can do it at this age. It's simply something I enjoy and want to continue into the later. You have to make some compromises. I don't walk as fast as I did before. I need a few more breathers. But I can relatively go as high. And one of the things, because that's possible in my life, I try to motivate other people to at least look at the possibilities of life that include physical activity like that. But and I say, when you talk about living a wholesome life and a life full of engagement insofar as it's reasonable, one thing I don't like to do about old age and my own later years is to follow the formula of nothing succeeds like excess. A lot of people have done that, and I don't try to do that. I want balance in life, and above all, maintain the relationships in your life. Older folks without friends, that's kind of lonely life. And I think it's very important. And a matter of fact, when I look at Amy's accomplishments, I think one of the things that pleases me most is to see the harvest of what she had done in her college years, high school years. Friendships matter to her. She maintains them into later years, went year after year attending the weddings of her friends, crossing the country. And then, and of course, when she was married, they all came. And at the receptions in Washington, there they were, from Wayzata High School, from Yale, from Chicago Law School, the people of her life, and they were there. And pleased to see this achievement by a friend of theirs.
I want to tell you that we can all live a little bit vicariously by taking the website that you have. It's called Jim Klobuchar Writes. It's on the web under what? Well, you can get it on the web. What is it?
It's www.jimklobuchar Writes.
That's very easy.
And I have another one, www.jimklobuchar.com. That's my adventure site. This one is with commentary or profiles.
But it's free.
Oh, yeah.
All you have to do is click in. And this one currently, January 10th, is all about 48 years after a first climb on the Matterhorn, a guide and his guest client reunite. So this, if we subscribe to this, free of course, we can all live a little bit vicariously.
You can, but it's much better to live actually.
You're absolutely right. Your words are very well put. Thank you very much for being with us.
Always a pleasure, Rowan.